Hey there everybody, it's Eternal Snowman here with another TLT live game analysis. This time we're going to be playing in round 4 against blinkboy here. The tiers being played are UU, OU, and PU. We're going to be starting in UU. I apologize if my voice sounds a little shaky or I yawn a lot because it is a little bit early in the morning when I'm recording this. I didn't get that much sleep last night, so just letting you know if my voice is a little bit shaky, that's why. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with UU. Let me just rearrange my team a little bit just so that what I like to do is try to make it so that like my build around mons aren't too obvious. This is my team, by the way. Let's just do it like this. And then let's load in. Mod join off. TLT round 4. Have fun, bro. So just right off the bat, it does look like it depends a lot on his Como set, but if his Como is not soundproof, then Toxtricity looks really, really good here. If I can get a setup turn, which can happen if I let something sleep with Amoonguss. He's probably going to lead one of these two or Amoonguss. So I could lead Crocodile, but I think Crocodile is a more aggressive lead. He could also lead Como. I think that's very much possible. Como is most likely rocks here. And then this is just going to be most likely boots. Pivot. And then we have Slowking, which will probably be boots or like Colberberry. Pivot. So I think the best leads are either Crocodile here or Rotom. I think Rotom leads pretty well into everything he can do except for Amoonguss, but we're okay if he leads Amoonguss. So I think we can just lead Rotom. Okay. Yeah, getting the Wisp off into Como will be really good. So let's just do that. Okay, nice. So we can either go Volt Switch out here and try to go Jirachi to get the Toxic, or we can defog to avoid Toxic, or we can defog here. I think we're gonna Volt Switch because we do want to try to preserve Rotom HP as much as possible. Oh, interesting. That's not very good for us. How do we want to do this? Well, okay, let's just go Jirachi and then let's get up our own rocks. Or we could Wish here. Actually, I like Wishing. Because most likely he's not going to go directly into his Azu, considering that he won't know. Most likely, like Celesteela or Slowking is going to come out here. Okay, Zero Aura is also fine with me. And then we can get off the U-turn and then heal up our Rotom. We will be taking a lot of damage here on Jirachi with, from the knockoff, but I think we're completely fine with that. Since Rotom is more important than Jirachi. Like we're mostly going to want Jirachi to set up rocks for us at some point in the game. Okay, let's go Rotom. We get the heal. So we have the option to click Wisp again. I think we want to take that option. Let's see what he decides to go into. Como. So we could defog here. But I don't love that. We could go Tapu Bulu, which I kind of like, but I am fearing Flamethrower a little bit right now. So I think going Crocodile is kind of a good mid-ground play. So I think we're going to do that. Because I could go Jirachi here, but I believe Flamethrower is going to do a lot Actually, let's calc. We're gonna assume timid life orb. Como. Let's go doubles Omni Booster with life orb. And then let's go let's go Jirachi. And ours is basically max. Actually, I think it's exactly max with careful. Flamethrower does 37 to 45, and Clanging Scales does, yeah, so a Clanging Scales into Flamethrower is going to KO Jirachi from this range. So let's go Bulu. Oh wait, I was supposed to go Kruk. Wait, he click the Clanging Scales, so we're good there. Close Combat is pretty good here, since it'll cover a lot of options, which I kind of like. Okay, this is fine. So he reveals Rocky Helmet on the Amoonguss. I'm just going to go into Jirachi because if it does get slept, then we're in a pretty good spot because that means that we can use Toxtricity as our Amoonguss switch in. If he goes for Sludge Bomb, that's pretty good as well. Okay, he's going to go Azumarill. Good play on his part. I seriously doubt it's Belly Drum in this position, so I'm okay with just giving up Jirachi for Rocks. How impactful is Rocks, actually? I mean, it's mostly good for these Amoonguss Celesteela kind of stuff. It also scouts for Play Rough. I can also click Wish here and get like a free setup opportunity with like Toxtricity. Or Como, depending on what move he clicks, which might be a really good choice. I mean, I think he's likely to click Play Rough here since it's easy for me to go into one of my knockoff or Play Rough is the most likely option. So let's click Stealth Rocks. Yeah, I was correct on that. And then I'll click Wish, which will give me an opportunity to set up later on. See what he clicks here. So Play Rough, wait, before I actually make that play, let's make sure that he is banned here. Azu. Let's just switch this to choice band. Yeah, that has to be banned. There's no way that normal Jirachi or normal Azu can do that much damage. So we can just click the Wish here. Okay, so now that he's going Amoonguss, we're gonna go hard Como. We can save the HP here because we're Overcoat, so we can avoid the damage there. And then we can Sword Stance here. If he goes Azu, then it dies to P-Jab. Celesteela dies to CC. So his only safe switch-in is Zero Aura or Slowking potentially, but Slowking actually doesn't run, or it runs Future Sight as its only Psychic Stab most of the time. Like the standard set will be Scald, Future Sight, Teleport. So I'll be able to get the Clanging, Scale Shot boost pretty safely in this situation. So I'll be in a really, really good spot here. I'll get my free SD, and there's almost nothing he can do to stop me from being free, other than potentially going straight into Como. Okay, Como and winning the speed tie. Let's go for the Scale Shot here. 1, 2. Okay, we only need it to KO next turn. Okay, so he's gonna go for Future Sight. It does mean that we're gonna be forced out next turn. Do we want to click Poison Jab or Close Combat here? Okay, so Scale Shot is 75 base power. Okay, it's 50, so Close Combat does slightly more. I'm going to go Close Combat. Okay. I wanted to cover for the potential scenario of... Okay, so let's go back into Jirachi. I wanted to cover for the potential scenario of Celesteela. But since he's unwilling to go Celesteela in this situation, I think it's more likely that he is um, um, okay, he's gonna teleport. I'm gonna go Azu. I'm just going to Iron Head here. Okay, goes for the knockoff. We didn't get the flinch, which does really suck, but that's fine. Let's go for the SD. I'm inclined to believe that he is offensive Celesteela here, which does mean we're pretty close to winning. So he's probably play rough on this. Okay, so I'm thinking, what do I want to set up on with Toxtricity to go for the win? Because I can probably go for the win on this turn if I sack this to 0 aura and then go for the shift gear here with Toxtricity. But then Azu is still alive, so I'm still probably not going to be able to straight up win from this position. Is that okay? Is the question. Or should I go Crocodile and like wait for a few turns? Yeah, let's go Crook. And then let's go for knockoff here. Hmm. This is not such an easy game, it looks like. I mean, Ironhead not flinching does kind of suck from this position because it does make my end game a lot harder. But like relying on 60% is not really that clean of a strategy. So okay, Celesteela. Is this defensive? It is defensive. That's interesting. So I can make an interesting play here. I can go Tapu Bulu, sack it, and then go Toxtricity and set up here on the Celesteela, which has no way of catching Toxtricity, which is probably a good play. So let's go that. Let's do that. And we want to if we deny Celesteela healing, that's good. So let's click Darkness Lariat, which will cover the Amingus switch in. Or we can just go into Toxtricity directly. It does take like a decent amount of damage still. So I'm going to just Darkest Lariat. And a Heavy Slam. Let's go Toxtricity. And then Shift Gear. So you can Leech Seed. Which means that I kind of have to guess correctly. But a lot of his Pokemon will die to Boom Burst from this point. So it's not that big of a deal. Oh my god, that crit sucks. That crit really sucks. I think we're in Azu range now. Yeah, we are. Thinking about how we can win this from this position. This is so fucking tough. Rotom. I mean, I feel like we need to keep Toxtricity then, because we can't beat them, I guess, otherwise. Okay, we have to go Toxtricity, or Rotom here. Oh, fuck. We were in such a good spot without that, because I would have gotten to another turn of Grassy Terrain too, so the Life Orb would have been mitigated. I would have been well out of range from this. If he goes Zero Aura, we basically lose, but I don't think there's any reason for him to risk it, so just click Volt Switch. Okay, we get Toxtricity for free here. We get to click Boom Burst. If he sacks a Moongus, then maybe we can still win this with Crocodile in the back, but yeah, there's no reason for him to do that. That's really rough. That's really disappointing. He's gonna click Close Combat here. Or Knock Off, yeah. It's really, really fucking disappointing. I have to just go for a roll, I guess. Yeah. Well, now it's just play rough miss, maybe. Yeah. I mean, we got at least 2 more mons with. We should have gotten at least 2 more mons here with Toxtricity. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's just really rough. We had like a good enough matchup. It's something that we were looking for from Team Preview, with something that Toxtricity could really beat, Komodo can take advantage of. But we got 2 hits on the Slowking, and then we missed the Iron Head flinch. There was definitely some spots I could have played better. Actually, this first turn was definitely a misplay, because I saw that it was faster than Rotom, which implies that he's either, like, because I'm running a little bit of speed, it implies that he's not defensive. So I messed up on this turn, but because I was able to recover with the Jirachi play here, it wasn't that bad of a misplay. Yeah, this was fine. And then this was like good up until this point. Like I would have, like if I had gotten 3 hits, I would have given me a little bit more playing room here. Maybe I could have clicked Scale Shot again. That probably would have, like, I don't hate clicking Close Combat there. And then, yeah, not being able to get the the flinch there kind of sucked. But it was more so it sucked in conjunction with some of the other stuff. I don't mind this play. I think him going 0 aura is fine. I had like a path here where I could have just sacked and then tried to go Toxtricity and force something here, but I think that because 0 aura probably does too much, that puts you in Azu range. I wanted to set up a better chance, which I did later on here. So I could have tried to play the longer game here by going like Rhythm Wash and then like going for some like Volt Switch plays and stuff and set up. But this was the best chance I had for Toxtricity. And then if we didn't get crit here, it would have done around like 35, which means I would have saved like 17 health ish. So I would have been not well outside the range, but I would have been outside the range by a good margin probably. Because I would have been at 70 health here. And then if I was at 70%, then he would need to sack 2 mons to get me into the range of Aqua Jet, or for the guaranteed range of Aqua Jet here, which would have meant most likely something like Slowking Komo would be gone. And then I can make that same play, go Rotom on the Aqua Jet, and then force another situation with Toxtricity, and then we would be winning from this position. So yeah, like it just really sucks because we should have been in a good spot here, but yeah, it was just that crit was very unfortunate. Let's go into OU next. We're just gonna load up the same team that we did last week. I built something else, but it felt not strong enough to me, so we're just going to load up the same team that we did last week. Let's challenge. Fuck. Okay. Well, we lose. I don't think there's any way for me to beat this. Shit. There's no way for me to beat Mammoth. Sorry. For me to beat Dragonite. It's just very doomed. Other than some pretty lucky rolls and stuff, but yeah, it seems bad. Do I just want to CC? Yeah, I just want to CC. He's most likely just going to U-turn out. Or that. Let's Sash. Let's Leech Life. Oh my god. It's Endeavor. Are you serious? Yeah, we just lose. Buzzwell's so important in this matchup, and oh fuck. Are you serious? Thinking if there's any possible way for me to heal my Buzzwell. I don't think there is. We literally lose. Ah! Fuck, was I supposed to play around on Endeavor? It's so bad. This is so bad. Okay, there is a way for me to heal. I can U-turn in with Torn while Grassy Terrain is up. Let's go Torn. It's your turn. This damage, by the way, I think. Wait, just let's just make sure. I'm pretty sure it means he's either timid or jolly black glasses or sorry, adamant black glasses or jolly band. Oh, never mind. This means he's black glasses. Guaranteedly means he's black glasses. I think he's adamant black glasses. Yeah. Let's go read the BIM then. That's just U-turn. There's certain Magirna sets that are really, really hard for this team to deal with as well. Hydreigon can like soft check some of these mons, but it's not going to be too useful this match, so it's probably going to be my go-to sack. Swampert will be necessary in this game to actually toxic the Dragonite, because that's my only way of beating it. So my hope is to somehow get that situation set up. The question is if I want to go Slowking here or if I want to go Swampert. I think I want to go Slowking. I'm just going to Flash Cannon. It's Life Orb. It's kind of interesting. And then I can just click Flamethrower. The crit doesn't matter that much in this situation. Okay, it kind of matters a little bit. Okay, Cinderace versus Slowking. Just put in this. Pyro Ball does 55 to 65. That sucks. How much does Sludge Bomb do back? From Modest. Sludge Bomb. 60 to 71, so it's never enough. You can just sack Hydreigon. Let's just Sludge Bomb. Okay, I mean, we get the Rillaboom. Now we don't need Hydreigon anymore, since it actually doesn't really do anything. I mean, it outspeeds Urshifu and can put some damage into it, but realistically, that doesn't mean anything. So let's just go into it right now. Well, okay, I'll see if he calcs, because technically, if I reveal defensive here, this technically means it's a free setup for Dragonite. So I'll be forced to go Swampert if he goes Dragonite here. But if he's not paying that much attention, he may not know. Yeah, my only ways of dealing with the Dragonite are basically involve missing or getting like a toxic off and like really heavily pivoting around with my regen core. It's just really rough. Okay, so it is Urshifu. I'm just gonna Earth Power to get damage down, because if I do get damage down, then I can do some stuff with Rillaboom and stuff. So let's go Rillaboom. I'm gonna Grassy Glide. not a switch in. Yeah, the issue is Dragonite 4 times resists grass, so it does pose a lot of issues for this team. Let's go Swampert. If he's like some interesting like weird set where it involves like heal ball and stuff, then I auto lose. I mean, I already basically auto lose this, but let's go like Buzzwole. Let's go Torn. We want high HP here on Torn, and then sack Slowking. And then you want to sack Rillaboom. Okay, so it does 25%. So the hope is Grassy Glide does enough to put it in range. It's really tough. I mean, it is Adamant Band, so hopefully it can do enough. If not, we basically lose, but it does not do enough. Well, now we just have to hope that Torn can solo the rest, which probably involves a crit, so yeah, this is just... The matchup is so bad, and then there's not much else I can do. I mean, he has Sucker Punch on this because it is Black Glasses, so we basically need to get really lucky here. Actually, I don't even think we can win. Yeah, I'm in. It doesn't really matter. The matchup was basically unwinnable. I mean, I kind of knew from team preview it was going to be extremely tough. And then we didn't get any luck in our favor either, so there's not really much you can do there. I mean, Urshifu, Choice Band, Adamant, Black Glasses. I mean, we can check just to make sure, but Sucker Punch probably KOs. Yeah, I did. It's 50. I mean, yeah, I mean, the miss didn't matter at the end because he has Sucker Punch on Urshifu, so nothing you can do about that. I don't have a non-status move. Or sorry, non-attacking move, so I can't play around it at all. I mean, I thought he was going to set rocks here. That's why I didn't... Like, if I had known it's Endeavor, then I can Roost. But I don't think that, like... I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to play around this kind of thing without knowing the team. This is not a common set, so it's really hard. And then, like, at this point, the game is just over. My most important mon dies early on, and... yeah. Get the Rillaboom KO. Well, okay, maybe we should have saved Hydreigon health here, because we could have used the Hydreigon to stall out Dragonite. So in hindsight, maybe Hydreigon was useful there, and we should have sacked, like, say, Buzzwole or Slowking instead. Can we ever set up a situation? Well, okay. We could have done Slow King into Rillaboom instead here, and then that would have allowed Slow King to live a dual Wing Beat, and then we would have been able to force these last two versus those last two, which does actually mean we win. Because then I can go Torn here, and like I can set up this same situation. And then I can like if I was not at full health here, I could U-turn into Swampert there, and then Swampert can deal enough damage to Magearna that we're guaranteed to win. I think. I'm not actually sure, but maybe that's true. Oh, yeah, I kind of misplayed this ending. I could have forced this last situation a little better. Like I could have gone. Okay, so from this position, okay, so up until here, I think I played correctly. Okay, so I could have taken the path where I could have saved Hydreigon for longer for this exact situation, which I kind of knew was coming down the line as well. So that was potentially a misplay. So the other option is here. I could go Slow King. I can go Slow King, sack Rillaboom for the regen, come back to Slow King, kill it. Well, okay, then we don't get the regen with Torn. So we're at 40% Torn, a 1 HP Slow King, and Swampert. Then he just goes Urshifu, clicks Wicked Blow, then we're forced into a losing situation here. Okay, then we still lose. It doesn't actually matter. I'm thinking if there's ways that I could have won from this position. What if I had Torn take the hit? How much does Torn take from Dragonite? So Dragonite, Tornadus. Shit, wait, I'm already on Tornadus. What the heck? Why is it on this? Dual Wing Beat. +1. 66 to 78. So we weren't guaranteed to live here. I mean, maybe that was the better play. Like we would just go for the roll, and then try to go for an end game with Rillaboom here. I mean, that's possible. Maybe that was the correct play. Maybe I could kind of see it because then Rillaboom can try to finish off Urshifu and deal big damage to Magearna and have Torn kind of finish that off. It's possible that was correct. It's definitely possible. But yeah, I mean, we would have to risk a roll here, which we aren't guaranteed to get. And also, I mean, I guess I could have calced versus the boom. It's Dragonite to see if it was adamant or not, but dual Wing Beat per hit. So it did 70. So it was Jolly. So yeah, I would have had a chance to live depending on the rolls. On Tornadus, so I could have gone for the Tornadus play, since it would have given me, okay, so I was at 71 point something, 71.7, which equates to, wait, 71.7 times 362. Which is, wait, 0.17, which is 259. So I think I was at 259. So I would need 2 hits under like 129. So I need the average hits to be under this. My chance to live is pretty low. Not pretty low. It's like more like it's around like 40% maybe, 35% to 40%, which is not very good. So yeah, it was unfortunate. Yeah, because if in 2 hits it'll trend towards the center, slightly higher with 2 hits. So it'll be most likely to be in these middle categories, and if I need to get like edge values, it's actually less likely for that to happen in 2 hits. So despite this range saying like, okay, maybe you may think like it's closer, but because we're at lower than 50% of the time, this is like a math thing, but the middle of this is 74-ish, right? Give or take. It's like 73, 74. So because we're lower than the halfway point, it's less likely of happening than normal because we want 70, 72 or 71.7 or lower. And so basically how math works is when you have 2 variables, it'll trend more closer to the average. So as opposed to a normal roll, dual wing beat will be more likely to be in the middle. So we're less likely to live this than it may appear. Because you may just be thinking, okay, it's like a 40% roll or like a 50% roll kind of thing. It's like about half, a little bit less than half of the rolls, but because of how the distribution works, it's actually less than that. So it should be something like 30%. I don't know the exact number, but it should be something like 30% chance to live there, which isn't really that good. Like we could have gone for it as opposed to the Boom roll, which was let me get rid of multi-scale. Okay, yeah, so we even got a max roll. So this is, we would be banking on a crit. So it's definitely better to go for the play here, since we could still win actually even if Torn dies. Since we could go Boom and then potentially there's something there. Since we basically have to guess correctly. Like if we go Swampert or Boom, I probably would have chosen to go Swampert since it's more likely for him to start with Magirna, and then I could if he does go Magirna, then I can flip turn out on the Urshifu. So it's like I basically have to win 2 50-50s to win this at that point in the game. But yeah, definitely rough. The UU game I'm more disappointed about. Okay, this one is more matchup. Like, there was definitely some things I could have done differently, but I knew from the start that I would need to like basically outplay him on a lot of different trends in a row to be able to win from this position. In the UU game, I feel like I played correctly. I made the correct plays, and then I just got fucked really hard by that crit. Because I would have been in this exact position with 20% more HP, which means I'm completely out of range. So I have to. I'm basically in the position where okay, Slowking, EU defensive versus Toxtricity, shift gear. So we're on about a 31% chance to, okay, actually it depends heavily on the Slowking spread, but assuming that this is the SPDEF spread, which actually we don't have to assume because we can go Como here. Let's go 252. Let's go Life Orb. Let's go Scale Shot. And then I want to calc with, make sure I had 2 heads. Plus 2. 46 to 55. Each hit does around 109, about 25%. That could have been his spread. Definitely could have been his spread. We did about 23%, it looks like, with. Yeah, I think this is probably his spread, considering the damage rolls. Or something similar to this. So yeah, if it was indeed something like this, um, then we would have like a small chance to KO with. Well, actually, okay. Let me just ask him. What was your slow king spread? Game one, by the way. Oh, never mind. He's not online anymore. Yeah. So it depends on the slow king spread, but had we would have at least been in a good position. We would have had probably. Oh, okay. I guess it depends on the slow king spread whether or not we would actually be in a good position. But we would at least force the slow king to die here, and then yeah, I don't know. The crit was definitely unfortunate. Maybe it wasn't actually a game like depending on the slow king spread, it was possible that he still lives the overdrive from this position and wins, like in the long game. So maybe I shouldn't go for this play. But that also goes back to the original thing. Like if I had gotten more hits on the skill shot, possibly it would have changed the game as well. So yeah. I mean, there's a lot of diverging paths here. Um, I mean, I hate blaming luck because I want to see where in this game could I have made a change. Like, okay, so definitely on this turn, I could have chosen to go for a slower approach, and gone Rotom Wash instead of going Bulu. Okay, so Leech Seed here, was pretty obvious since it was free for him. Since Celesteela beats Bulu anyway, so going Bulu was kind of a win-win situation because if he directly KOs, then I can set up the Toxtricity situation anyway. Um, and we don't want him to heal because if it does heal, or like if we can get it low, then we can set up a situation where Crocodile can potentially do a lot of damage. But then after this, I could have on this turn I could have gone Rotom Wash, which would have been a diverging path for sure. I don't know if it results in my victory though, or gives me a better chance than to win than in this position because that means I have a much less chance of setting up with Toxtricity from this position, considering that the only other thing I could potentially set up on is Komo. Although if I do go Rotom Wash and I Volt Switch, I could set up a situation with Komo, but Komo, it definitely takes way too much damage, from what I know. Let's go Toxtricity. Como. Yeah, it would do too much here. Since Celesteela was doing, this is like without Life Orb, so with Life Orb, Flamethrower is doing 54 to 64, so this is like definitely too much. It's to the point where I basically won't be able to set up. So basically, the only chance I'll have to set up, excuse me, is against the Celesteela right now. Um, or maybe against like Slow King later in the game or Amoonguss later in the game, but um like with the Amoonguss, because we already can't sleep, or sorry, nothing got slept, I'll have to basically win a 50-50 against that, so it's tough. Like I like this line if I don't get crit, but it also depends on the Slow King spread, because if I don't OHKO with Overdrive against Slow King, then we actually aren't winning very much either. Because then we get Slow King, and then he goes Azu, and then we are in the same situation that we are in this end game, but up a Slow King, which technically in the end probably wouldn't have changed the results of the game. So okay, it would basically be like in this situation, but without a Slow King. Which then, are we really winning that much? I don't know. Um, Hard to say. So then the question is, was it worth it to go for the Iron Head on Jirachi versus the Azu? Maybe there's another path where I go into like Rotom on that turn because um, I do have the Wish going to be passed here, so I have the option here to do something else, like go Rotom. So okay, like what happens if I go Rotom on this? I am like much more defensive. I think I'm like 168 impish. I'm much more defensive than their set on the calc. Azu. Knockoff from Choice Band would do 46 to 55. So we would have been living this hit, and then we would have healed up. So it's possible that here we could go for the U-turn, go for the slower game here. Try to go for Amoonguss, sleeping Amoonguss, sleeping Jirachi with Amoonguss, and then going for the setup with Toxicity that way. I think that's a possible plan, but like the payoff if we do get the Iron Head here is huge because then he's basically forced out, or I can just trade Jirachi straight up for another Iron Head, and then Azu's in such low health that basically it's in a position where I can just force it to come in on rocks a few times, and then we win the game. So yeah, like in this situation, it's hard to say, but the safe play would have been to U-turn out here into Rotom. And then we could have made a similar play. Like we could have gone Rotom and then tried to go for just basically solid plays, like go for another Volt Switch here, and then go into like Bulu or something on the Bulu, or like go into or sorry, he probably goes into like Komo or Amoonguss, and then we can go into like our Komo or our Crocodile or something like that, and then try to play solid from this position, which definitely could have been a potential win condition from us, but yeah, I think it's close. And then this game, yeah, basically there's a lot of things that could have potentially changed. The bigger one is like here, not going for the roost here kind of like ruins my entire game plan. Since I need Buzzwole to check Urshifu, Rillaboom, and to an extent even Dragonite, since otherwise I don't really have reliable answers to any of those mons. None of them ended up like being the end of like this game, but like cumulatively they all kind of like messed up my game plan. And not having Buzzwole just forces me in a hugely bad position. I mean, I would still say that it's very hard to play around this Endeavor right here because, like, okay, if I do Roost, like, okay, obviously, like, if I knew the team and, I could play around it, but that's really hard to be able to do, so. Yeah, sorry. I ranted a lot on this one. I'm a little bit disappointed, but because we lost two solid games to two games that like I feel like I could have won, I guess. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, leave a comment, all that kind of good stuff. If not, I'm not sure why you're still watching. This is quite a long video probably. So yeah. I'll see you guys next week for the TLT recap and analysis, and then the week 5, which we do have to clinch. And we have to hope that we don't get someone like MJ in the last round, which would be really, really shitty. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.